Live in 5 seconds.
Dear partners, hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. We will be commencing sharp at 2:30. So meanwhile, just do some housekeeping stuff. So if you could go to your right panel, your Q&A panel, key in your name and your email, that would be very helpful for us to get back to you. If you have any questions during the sessions, do also key in your questions into the Q&A panel. We will bring up your questions to our Q&A panelists towards the end of the session. So stay put. We will allow another 5 minutes for some of the attendees to join, and we will be able to start 2:30 sharp. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar for today. I'm your host today. My name is Yalvun. We just like to do some housekeeping rules. So if you look to your right panel, there's actually a Q&A panel on your right. We would like to get you guys to key in your name and also your email address. So that will allow us to recognize you and get back to you. If you have any questions, do key into your Q&A panel on your right. We will allow some time towards the end of the sessions to attend to most of the questions. And let's allow 3 more minutes for some of our attendees to join, and we shall start at 2:30 sharp. Thank you. Hello, dear partners. We are about to start our webinar for today. So I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Yalvun. So I'll be your host and moderator for today's webinar. Today, we're going to have a webinar to discuss about a topic, which is one of the offerings that Ingram Micro is going to offer on the financial package. So before that, I'll just like to do some housekeeping rules. In order for us to get back to you, please key in your name and your email on the Q&A panel on your right. And during the course of the sessions, if you have any questions, please key in, because we will have some time allocated towards the end of the sessions to attend to your questions. So without further ado, I'd like to bring in today's presenter, Mr. Lester. I'd like to introduce him into the session. He will be bringing us through the financial package. Lester, over to you. Sorry for the interruption. Lester, you are on mute. So could you start again?
Thanks for the reminder.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. So Lester, over to you.
Thank you, Yavun. Thank you. So hi, all my beloved brothers and sisters, my channel partners, and my principal. Right, it's good to see you guys again. Nice talking to you. I think the last time we spoke was 2 weeks ago. I remember that time, and I hope we talked about the BCB packages and partner more. And then this time, I'm glad to be able to be here to talk to you again. For those of you who joined the webinar, thank you very much. It's good to know that you guys are safe. The only thing is that it's a pity you guys can't talk to me. Hopefully our MCO will be lifted on the 28th, and we can get back to work, and then we can see each other very soon, right? So for those of you who are working at home, just have a bit of load balance, spend some time with your family and loved ones. Don't get drowned by work, right? For my beloved vendors, I wish you guys get quota relief from your corporate, and then hopefully you can flow some quota relief to the distributor so that we can get our rebates, and then we can help the channel partners more. Right, for my channel partners, hang in there, stay strong. Right, hope you guys can get the most leverage out of the pre-Hatin packages from our government, and just sustain your business. Right. So without further ado, today I'm gonna walk you guys through the some recap of what we talked about last. And then I will announce some of the financial packages that we put together as a whole from Ingram Micro perspective, and then we'll jump into Q&A. Okay. So a quick recap from the last webinar we spoke, right? We came in, we spoke to you guys, we addressed the market, we tell you where are the opportunities, right? What are the things to do, what the resellers should be doing, right? You should be rebranding yourself after the COVID-19 pandemic. We see a lot of changes to the market, especially in the IT industry. So resellers like yourself, you should be taking this time to look at how you should change to cope with this. Right? Large enterprise, government, GLCs, telcos, during this situation, pandemic outbreak, they realize that their infrastructure, their security, their collaboration are not able to fully cope with the MCO. They will definitely spend to upgrade their infrastructure and all their networking and devices after the MCO. That one is inevitable, right? And they will not just turn away projects easily. So these are the areas that resellers should be looking into focusing. Some of the smaller SMBs, they may have some financial challenges, but for a short term, you should be looking at helping them batch by batch, pocket by pocket to upgrade their premises as well, so that they can function as usual. I think we may need to look at embracing cloud-based applications, because after this, I think a lot of organizations will start to look into hybrid strategy or probably multi-cloud strategy. So that is something that I want to share with the floor, that the resellers, you guys should be looking to this transformation. As for the retailers and the consumer resellers, you guys should be looking at things like smart retail. I read an article recently that Fitbit is also coming in to put in some applications into their Fitbit watches to track COVID-19. So people are moving rather than the usual box, but instead moving into solution retail or smart retail. For example, private sector education. You can put together a laptop with O365, with security, with a pocket Wi-Fi and a wireless printer, and then you can sell to private sector education. These are some of the things that we think that the retailers on the consumer business side of the partner should be looking at. Right. Then we tell you, we share with you during our last recap as well, how Ingram Micro BCP, because of our strong fundamentals of the transformation strategy that we have adopted from a cloud perspective, from an IT perspective, cyber security perspective, modern workspace and digital transformation. So we hope that the partners are able to look into these areas, come to us, we can help you transform your business accordingly, right? And then after that, we announced we help you address the customer challenges, like I mentioned earlier, from a CSI perspective, and we tailored BCP packages out. And we built a playbook, and we onboard you guys to partner more. So that was what we did in the last webinar. From a solution perspective, services perspective, technical perspective, and a digital marketing platform perspective, we tailored all this just to help our channel resellers during these tough times, right? So today, what I'm going to announce is that the Ingram team, Malaysia team, right, work very hard. We always come from the angle of our channel partners as priority. So we work very hard. Then we came out with 3 financial stimulus packages to help our channel partners. Hopefully, we are able to stand up and help you guys pull through this period stronger together. Right? Just bear in mind, whatever we do, we are always thinking about you guys. You channel partners are our bread and butter, and we will always stand by you. I do not know about my competitor distributor, but like I said in my last webinar, I think they are still playing game at home, cooking, learning how to cook new dishes, watching TV. I don't think they know how to continue the business or even come out with solutions to support the channel partners, right? But we are doing it tirelessly 24/7 for you. We will have 3 financial offerings, if you can see here. We will be providing the first one, which is the Ingram Micro Corporate Card. The second one will be distribution financing. And the last one will be end user project financing. So let me walk you through what are these 3 financing about. So the first one is an Ingram Micro Corporate Card. So we're going to offer a corporate card to our resellers. All Ingram Micro registered resellers are eligible to apply. And the limit can go up to 2.5 million. There will be no merchant fees and no signing up fees for the card, right? So you may ask, what is this different from my credit limit? This is totally different from your credit limit. If you have a corporate card and you have an Ingram credit limit, you have 2 lines of credit limit. So we are increasing your credit limit for you. And moreover, with that, you are entitled to additional 50 days payment terms to the corporate card on top of your usual Ingram 30 days payment terms. So this corporate card will help you stretch your repayment terms back for orders, be it run rates, be it renewals, be it projects orders. The objective here is to help our resellers manage your cash flow better and to have better business continuity with your customer. If your customer delay payment to you, at least you can leverage on our corporate card to stretch your payment terms with us. This is number 1. Okay, the next one I'm going into is distribution financing. Distribution financing are tailored for all our SME and SMB resellers, right? There's a minimum criteria here that you need to oblige to. Basically, you need to be 2 years in business with a minimum turnover of $2 million, ringgit, sorry, by the way, and you must have a 1-year business relationship with Ingram. So this financing is somehow similar to our government's SME stimulus package financing, right? It's just that this one is coming from a distribution Ingram angle to you. Financing amount is up to 5 million. The interest rate is way much lower than any other market or any other SME, SMB bank finance rates that you can get. But there will be a one-time processing fee for this. And it's only one time. And once let me give an assumption, assuming you get your current credit limit with Ingram is 5 million. And you get approval for this distribution financing for 5 million. In total, you have 5 times 2, you have 10 million credit line with us. right? So that will help you spice up your business, help you to be able to take larger projects or a few projects at the same time without, without having some financial challenges. So what does this help you? The distribution financing allows the resellers to have a 90 days payment term for all purchases with Ingram Micro, including hardware, pure software, and services. Right, so this is to help our SMB and SME customer increase your credit pool and have a stretch payment terms for projects. So you can load balance and play with your cash flow and your collection from your customers. Okay, the last one we are going into is end user project financing. So the first two we talked about addressing all our resellers pain point. The last one we also want to help you, and if my vendors are on this webinar, to help the vendors rep, bring forward or help your customers have project continuity, right? So again, all Ingram Micro registered resellers are eligible to apply with us. This particular end user project financing is to help the end user which has limited budget, or they may want to spend their budget in other areas due to MCO, or they have no budget for FY20, but they have infrastructure, security, or collaboration challenges that if they don't move with the project, they don't upgrade, they die. They upgrade, they no money. Problem, they don't know what to do, right? So in this end user project financing is basically leasing option, but we provide a lease to use and lease to own for end user. What makes it so different with us is that we will allow your customers to defer payment for 8 months before paying the first month of lease. So which means today, if your customer have a budget constraint, but they need to move on with a project, you can recommend them to come to us together to use this end user project financing. We secure the project with them. They only start to pay in January FY21. So they can use their next year's budget for their project and they have time to plan. Right, so these will help your customers bring forward projects and have continuity for the resellers and also my beloved vendors. Right. So in all, we thought very hard and we came out with these 3 key packages to address the current market situation. And we hope that with this, you are able to continue your business and you are able to also help your customers continue with projects so that there's to spice up the whole IT economy, IT sector economy for all of us. Right. To action, what to do? First one, we need the partners to evolve, focus on strategic markets like what I shared earlier. Looking more and more end user will be looking into cloud applications, cloud services, right? But we don't want to give all to the public cloud providers. We want the local partners here to benefit. So you should look at a hybrid strategy. Sectors to focus in: healthcare, education, government, GLC, telco, enterprises. Those are definitely the areas that you should be looking at, right? Our IM Online and Marketplace business as usual. So I want to highlight again, even during MCO, this point of time, this moment, if you have any customers that need equipment, hardware equipment, server, storage, PC, notebook, printers, firewall, etc., please work through our IM Online. Our e-commerce portal has MITI approval to function BAU. Marketplace is for all the software subscription-based licenses that you can still provision and supply to your customers. Thirdly, after this webinar, reach out to our sales rep for the BCP packages. For those of you who didn't join the last webinar, I encourage you guys to reach out because we tailor all these packages ready-made in a box. No dependency on hardware, no manpower on-site dependency for deployment. You can immediately still sell today and solve your customer pain point from a CSI perspective. By the way, for those who doesn't know, CSI is collaboration, security, and infrastructure, right? Go to market together with us. I'd like to re-emphasize this. If you have any areas you have doubt, you need the Ingram folks to come in to help you sell to your customers. You can always set up webinars. You can always set up calls for us to jump in and hide behind you, act as shadow you as an employee of yours, and we help you sell the BCP packages or the financing. we are always here for you. So like I said, right, whatever we do, whatever we tailor, whatever we plan, we put together from a technology, services, financial perspective, platform perspective, is all 101% for you partners, right? So we are the distributor that really cares for you. Okay, so again, we still have to adhere for another few days. I lost count of MCO days, so I think there should be another 5 or 6 or 7 days to go. So double D, double D, double D, double DR. Be safe at home, right? Hopefully, we get some good news from our Prime Minister within these few days on the next to do. Hopefully, there's no phase 4 so that we can get back to business. But even though if we are going to go back to business, there will be a new normal, practice. Social distancing is very important. We will live our lives differently. So this text to the resellers and the vendors, you guys to operate differently. And with our BCP package, our partner more, our financial, this should help you evolve. This is the first step and platform for you to change and evolve your business, right? To be ready for the new norm. Okay, then with this, I end my session on time. 2:50, we're going to go into Q&A. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lester. What an insightful sharing that was. So to answer your question, Lester, we are actually on the 36th day of MCO. So we have a few days to go before next week. The uplift hopefully is an uplift. Then we should be back in business. So right now, let's proceed to the Q&A panelist session as promised. So during this session, I've consolidated some of your questions into some categorized questions. I'd like to invite our panelists. So I'd like to introduce our panelists first. So the first panelist will be Janice Wong. Janice is our CFO for Ingram Micro Malaysia. So Janice, do you want to say some words to our audience?
Hi, good afternoon to everyone. Thanks for attending our webinar for offering the financial package to all our partners. We would like to, as a business partner, we would like to work with you together to help you to strengthen your cash flow and to help you to drive for business growth. This is our work together with you. Yeah.
Right, thank you, Janice. I think Janice's team has worked around the clock to work out the offerings and financial packages to help ease up the burdens of the channel partners and also to work together to uncover and new ways of doing business with the business partner. So next, I'd like to introduce Vincent Teo, our GM of CLS. So Vincent has a very unique business and he's a guy that always has a marvelous idea. So why not we hear some words from Vincent?
Hi everyone, Vincent here. So hopefully that everyone is safe right now, and let's see how we can team up together and nail the market in the future. Right? Thank you.
Right, thank you, Vincent. I think that's a key one. We have to work together and collaborate and stay connected in terms of how to perform and conduct business moving on. Right. So next, I'd like to introduce Cairo. Cairo is actually a very important person in our organization. He is our credit professional. Cairo, you want to share some insights in terms of your role to the our partners?
Yes, hi, good afternoon to everyone. So my name is Cairo here. So I hope this program can assist you on financial. So anything you can call me or email to me regarding this any facility we offer to you. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Cairo. You bring up a very good point. So for all the partners, business partners that would like to reach out to us in regards of this financial packages, or even the previous business continuity plan packages, BCP plans, you can always contact us by emailing to our email, our designated email, bcp.my@ingrammicro.com. I repeat, bcp.my@ingrammicro.com. So I see a lot of questions has been flooding into the Q&A panel. I'd like to just do some, again, housekeeping rules to remind all partners to also key in your name and your email address. So we have more than a dozen, 2,000 of question coming in. So we will pick and choose. And if we unfortunately not to pick your questions, we will get back to you through email. And that's why we will need your email address to be keyed together. All right, so let's look into the first few questions that we have, right? So I think the first questions we have is very direct. The question goes as in, how do I apply for the facility? Is there any criteria? And what are the criteria to apply for this financial packages? This question is more towards to Janice. Janice, would you like to share on how can our partners quickly adopt on our financial package offering?
Yeah, sure. Okay, how to apply? Simple, contact us. We will arrange the banker to meet up with you, and we will do whatever necessary arrangement together and work with you and a banker together. Okay, for the criteria to apply, as what Lester mentioned just now, the criteria, you must be an Ingram reseller with a minimum 3 years in operation, standard form like financial statement, the business registration like your M&A, Form 9, Form 2449, those are standard documents. Yeah, this is the basic requirement.
All right, thank you, Janice. And there's a subsequent question from this, right? Is that how many cards can a company apply? For example, one company, how many cards they can apply, and who will be issuing the card?
Okay, for the card, for corporate card, one company entitled for one principal, and also you can apply for maximum 99 up to 99 supplementary card. Yeah, and with the combined limit, you can split the limit into a different limit to your supplementary card. That is up to you. It's subject to the corporate card, what kind of limit they approve you. Yeah, as I say, one principal card and 99 supplementary card.
Wow, that's a lot, Janice. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So I think the limit it will be subjected to the you'll be subjected to the approval from the banker, right? Am I right to say so? But then there's a question that arises from our partners, right? Is that currently, let's say they have 60 days terms with Ingram, right? So does this mean that if they were to apply the credit card, they will have additional 50 days, or how does it count?
Okay, when we come up with this corporate card, I think the key thing is you have limit, separate limit from Ingram, and you also have a different limit provided is based on your financial result. Bank will give you a different limit. So to say that you have two different limit, one is Ingram limit, one is the bank limit. Okay. For this corporate card, the condition is, let's say if you currently enjoy 60 days credit term with Ingram, but with this corporate card condition, your limit will be changed to 30 days. 30 days plus the bank, you have 50 days. So all in, you have 80 days, but no cost to you. The cost, everything will pay by Ingram. Yeah, I hope I answer your question.
Yeah, interesting, Janice. I think that was a very good explanation. And in 30 days and another additional 50 days, that will equivalent to 80 days, right? So I think
yes.
That question was one of the hot questions that was asked by our partners. I think partners, if you are hearing this, please email to bcp.my@ingrammicro.com or reach out to your channel salesperson to get hold on this as soon as possible. All right, so and the next questions, I think we'll switch gear a bit because I think the first few questions is more towards the credit card. I think the next question is more towards the distribution financing. So I think I'll offload Janice a bit and I'll call upon Kyrol to answer this. So there's a question here, Kyrol, about distribution financing, right? The question is that what does it cover? Does it cover hardware, software, services, or it must cover a certain thing, or how does it work the distribution financing?
Yes, okay. For this, these three financial offerings is cover all hardware, software, and services orders. So any product, it cover all. Okay.
All right, all right. So, and how would you put into perspective, right, in terms of the difference between the corporate card and the distribution financing? Because one is a credit line, and is it one? The other is a cash offering. How does it work? Because there's a question by Kyrie, right, asking about, how does it work? Only credit line or cash offering?
It's both credit line and the cash offered. This is for distribution financing.
So, Carol, does this also applicable for the 100% software and services project only? For example, only software and services project does it applicable, which does not include hardware?
Okay, for SMB distribution financing and the corporate card, there are no restriction for the content the customer are buying from Ingram. Only the end user project financing is required at least 50% of hardware to qualify for this scheme, which is set by PNM, the central bank. At least 50% for project financing. Okay.
All right, Carol. I think that pretty much sum up the answer for that. I think to sum up, I think you for the distribution financing, it covers all hardware, software, and servicing, right?
Yes.
In a nutshell. Yep. So we have our next questions more towards Vincent. Vincent, so how does this leasing applies to? Does this leasing applies to all sectors? I mean, like, our business partners, right? They are covering all sectors: SMB, corporate, government. So is there a limitation for this leasing program for the end user?
Thank you, Varun. Okay, to clarify things, okay, so this application or this leasing, right, is open to all business sectors, only excluding the agency, as the government agency are unable to handle the leasing requirements. So it can be any business, any form of business, and like what Cairo said just now, I just want to reinstate, as long as the dealing of the lease is 50% on hardware or in any denomination, as long as it's minimum of 50% on hardware, the deal is on.
All right, cool. I think that's a very cool proposition. But what is the interest rate for lease to own and lease to use? Or maybe for the audience convenience, right? Maybe you can explain a bit about the differences of lease to own and also the lease to use.
Okay, so to clarify, the lease to own is actually during the hardware leasing on this product. After the lease of the product ends, this hardware belongs to the lessee, okay, or the end user. So on the other hand, if it is the lease to use, or better known as operation lease, this hardware will be returned to the leasing companies at the end of the program or the leasing program. So just to share with you a little bit more on the percentage or probably the finance lease. So in terms of the hardware and also the software, is ranging between 4.8% to probably 5.2%. Okay, and as for the lease to use or the operation lease, it will be between the range of 0.99% to 2.43% on hardware, right? And obviously, if it's for the software, is ranging between the 4.8% to 5.2%. And the best thing of all today, what we are offering is also a deferment program, like what Lester have shared, that this deferment program would able to go on first 8 months on minimal finance charges, and to go along way with the leasing repayment in terms of the month 9 onwards to probably month 36 or to the end of the tenure of the leasing.
All right, thank you, Vincent. I think that pretty much sum up our Q&A panelists. I'd like to thank our Q&A panelists, Janice, Vincent, and Cairo. And before we end, I have a very last question for Lester. So Lester, are you there?
Yes, Yavun. Thank you for calling me out again.
Yeah, Lester, you are the very important person. I think this question I have to ask you because there is a question about this. So they were asking, so do they have to buy from Ingram? Do they have to have projects with Ingram to entitle this financing?
Very good question. May I know who is the person that asked this question? I think I deserve to know before I answer this.
Yeah, this is actually from Kyrie. Kyrie asked a very few good question from the panel.
Okay, to answer your question, Kyrie, it's 100% must and yes. The reason is because two reasons I'm giving. Number one, all these three packages are exclusively tailored by us to you, to the partners like yourself. Number two, I don't think there's any other distributor in the market except Ingram Micro. I hope that answers your question.
Yep, I think that pretty much wrap up our session. Thank you, Lester. I'd like to thank all the partners that joined our webinar. I do see some messages from the partners saying that, asking for recording sessions. Yes, the session will be recorded and is recorded as well. Our agency will be sending out the recorded link later on after the session. So for those that have not keyed in their email address and their name, please kindly do so before the session ends. Key in your name, your company, and email address so that we can forward you the link of the recording. And also, if you have any questions that we fail to answer during the session, we will be answering you through email. So before we end, I'd like to reiterate that you should contact us at bcp.my@ingrammicro.com. If not, you can also alternatively contact your preferred channel salesperson. So with that, I'd like to once again thank our presenter for today, Lester Leung. I'd like to thank our panelists, Janice, Vincent, Kyrol, and I'd like to once again thank all the business partners for joining us. We look forward to conducting our next webinar. And myself, I'm Yao Vun, your moderator for today. I'd like to wish you guys stay home, stay safe, and stay connected with Ingram Micro. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.